Join UF Hall of Famer and 14-year NFL vet Shane Matthews every weekday as he brings you all you need to know about your Florida Gators, including news, analysis, and opinions with some of the biggest names in sports. Find us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, or watch us live at 8 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
Good morning. You're looking live at PodUp with Matthews in the morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. I want to thank Sean Kelly, voice of the Gators, for our introduction today. It's Tuesday. That means we have good old Buddy Martin from the Buddy Martin Show here in just a second. Some news and notes. The Gators are leaving today. We'll be staying in Dallas, Texas, and then normal routine going to Salt Lake City tomorrow. If you missed it last night, I think Jose Altuve hit for the cycle. That's what Buddy Martin used to do back in the day. Absolutely. Over at California.
No, I used to strike out guys trying to hit for the cycle. That's what I did.
Good morning, buddy. How are you?
Good morning, Shane. I'm a little nervous this morning, like we always are this time of year. For a million years, I've been watching these hurricanes, been in the middle of them, seen them. My thoughts and prayers go out for the people in the state. We're about to get some devastation here, I'm afraid. I'm not Jim Cantore. I don't know about hurricanes like he does. But firsthand experience, I can tell you, I've been in them. I don't like them.
Well, you know it's not good when Jim Cantore flies into Gainesville, Florida.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So he was here yesterday and then rented a car and went over to Cedar Key. I mean, is it Cedar Key or Crystal?
Cedar Key. Yeah, he's
over there right now. There's, yesterday before he landed, I had a friend that was actually on the plane with him and sent me a picture of them getting their baggage. But I was watching the Weather Channel earlier, and they had some lady I'd never seen on the Weather Channel. She was downtown Gainesville, and I was oh boy. This is not good.
Don't come here, please.
Yeah.
Now listen, Cantore's a little rock star,
Yeah,
just don't want to see him in your backyard.
Yeah, he'll be out there with goggles and a hat, helmet, and all that stuff, fighting the wind tomorrow. It's a mess. Like you said, thoughts and prayers go out to everybody for this thing hits. It's been rough. Good thing the football team doesn't have to worry about hunkering down anything, although they got apartments and some rental homes. But this schedule change has been erratic, and trying to do shows and things like that. It's been a rough few days. So
how's that going to impact things Thursday night? Because there's a lot going on there. Some of these kids have, hardly been away from home, these little freshmen. But there's a lot of them and thinking their parents are in this stuff. It's tough. I've had that happen to me and my kids being in the middle of the stuff, and you have. You really worry. You wonder about the mental toughness of this team in this difficult situation.
Yeah, I haven't even really been able to sit down and relax and think about that. But you're right. Some of these guys, it's the first time, not that maybe some been the first time on a plane, but they're going a long ways. And, for the guys that have family members, it's definitely going to be on their mind, but hopefully they can block it out and move forward.
Literally block it out. Block.
Yeah. So it's not ideal what's going on, but the university has rearranged travel plans and go try to win a football game. Buddy,
you're on that flight too, Dave. Yes, that's right.
Depth chart came out. Any surprises to you?
A little bit. We've got two young safeties back there starting, which something has happened on battlefield promotions. But starting doesn't always mean you're going to play the whole game. But there's some, and I love how they sprinkle those freshman receivers, which you and I both are excited about. And it's a question of whether the quarterback Mertz, and he's a good senior leader now, not senior, but this is his fifth year or whatever, fourth year. So he will be a steadying force there for these young kids. I mean, Eugene Wilson could be the next, as you know, the next Iker Riedel. He's phenomenal for when I tell Shane, you tell me, and people I've talked to who've seen him practice. And these three guys are going to be relied upon, Shane, and crunch time, I think. Now, we know they got Ricky Pearsall and starting two tight ends. They're going to play double tights or what? I don't know. probably trying to throw off the opposition and kind of letting him. But yeah, I'm a little bit surprised, but not having seen the practices, it's hard to really evaluate. So you go by what guys like you say who have seen the practices. So I think this is a fresh start. Like yesterday, Jimbo Fisher said, first games are really difficult because you don't know what's going to happen. He recalled the time that Bear Bryant went to USC, the first game of the year, and came out in the wishbone. And so I don't think we'll see anything that drastic, but I'm really anxious to see this
Don't be giving away our secrets, buddy.
Well, everybody knows that. It's already been all over the place. So let's see what happens. I'm excited about what Austin Armstrong can do on this defense, the schemes. I love some of these players, how they're talking and thinking. Guys like Taraja Mitchell, I want to see him play on the hoof. So it's an exciting time. And Shane, I think we both believe Florida can win this game.
Yes, I do. Andy asked, is that right that Jackson is a starting receiver? Khalil is listed as a starter. Mm-hmm. He'll play I wouldn't worry about who the starting receivers are because they're going to rotate them so much.
Get them all out there.
Same with tight ends and running backs. Mm-hmm. None of that means anything, quite honestly. North says he loved Buddy Martin's. Here's on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mental Law. He loved Buddy Martin's exclusive interview with Urban Meyer from Netflix Swamp Kings. Excellent inside info because Urban Meyer is a good old time friend of Buddy Martin's.
Well, he has been a friend, Shane. I'm not afraid to say it. Some people would act like he's got cancer or he's plague or whatever. And I know. I mean, look, I'm not going to go into the depths of it, and I've talked about Urban a lot in the last 15 years. Sometimes it's cost me my friendship with people, Shane. And if I finally decided I'm not his defense attorney, but I'm his friend, and I like him. He's been honest with me, and we've had a relationship for a long time. And I was very honored and flattered that Urban had 40 requests for interviews after the Swamp Kings. He did one.
And that was with you.
It was with me, man. I was really honored.
We got a text about Urban we're going to get to here in just a second. But Joseph says, I was hoping to see Eugene Wilson and Pearsall on the field at the same time, but I guess it won't happen since Wilson is back. That's not true.
You don't know what they're going to do. You don't know what.
No, I know for a fact they'll be on the field at the same time. Okay. Just because people get so enamored with that damn depth chart, it means nothing. Honestly, it means nothing. It's just something they have to put out. Yeah. They're required to put out.
Right.
And but you will see those 3 and 1 will be on the field at the same time, guaranteed. All right, the text on the Titan Mark text line is from Jack. He says, buddy, what does Urban think about Billy Napier? Why do guys like Paul Feinbaum bash Billy Napier all the time?
I was supposed to have Feinbaum on today, but he had to beg off because ESPN had him booked. But look, Feinbaum got off on the wrong foot with Urban a long time ago. I attempted to be a peacemaker to get them back together about 5 or 6 years ago. And I think Feinbaum was willing, but Urban said there's too much damage done. He didn't want to do it. Paul still remembers when Urban's teams were kicking the ass of his Alabama Crimson Tide. And when they did the number on them, they did in Tebow's junior year and beat him in that game. And Feinbaum told me this, has said it. When I said, I know you don't like Urban Meyer, and I know you don't, he said, listen, buddy, he could become the man on the top of the heap of the mountain. If he beats Nick this next time, we'll be talking about him as the greatest coach in America. That's how close he came. We all know what happened, with Carlos Dunlap, the situation. They lost the game, they got beat. But that's how close Urban was to not just well doing, but really being on Mount Rushmore. So it didn't go that way. It went Saban's way, and congratulations to them. Feinbaum is just Feinbaum. He has opinions. He gets you get on his good list or bad list. He's like any commentary. He's going to state his preference. There's some guys you don't like, Shane, that you whatever. But I think Paul's a little unfair. But I will say this to Swamp Kings. I wrote him a note. I thought he played it pretty much down the middle in his commentary with Bourbon. So, yeah, I don't know that they'll ever be good friends or send cards back and forth on birthdays, but I think it was fair what he said there. But And I can see why Urban is so vulnerable, Shay. He's easy to criticize. It's like shooting fish in a barrel to criticize Urban Meyer. But sometimes you need to look a little deeper on people and not just take the surface comments that are made on social media and believe the crap that you hear. I'm going to tell you this. I know for a fact, I'm going to stop talking about it. I know for a fact, at least half of the stuff written about Urban Meyer is totally wrong, and some of it's pure lies. Okay. I know firsthand. I was there. I heard it. I saw it. It was wrong. So, I mean, there's that. So that's part of it. But don't get me started on that.
Well, yeah. But the Jack was asking, what does Urban think of Billy Napier?
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, you got me on.
And why is Paul Feinbaum
on Napier
always negative towards Billy Napier?
I'm sorry, I didn't answer the question.
It's all good. It's all good.
But best I can tell, he thinks he's a really good coach, but he's going to admit he doesn't know. He's heard good things about him. I think they've had a good conversation. I think maybe the quote I saw on social media today said somebody had Billy talking about how Mertz might have been used wrong, and it came from Paul Christ. I think Urban told Billy that. Urban told me that. So they have had talks. I think he really respects and likes Billy, but he's like everybody else. He's a commentator on Big Noon Saturday. He's got to wait and see if he can get the W's, and that's what he's waiting on. But I think he'll be one of the first ones to embrace Billy. He also has got Kyle Whittingham this week, his trusted assistant. So he told me, look, I can't. He says, I can't even pick this game. I said, look, these are your two teams out there. You helped build Rice-Eccles Stadium and what you did there. And he said, wow, it was just blew him away thinking about that. So I think he respects him. Why does Feinbaum rip on him? That's Paul's personality and style. He gets a point of view. He makes comments and he has to eat them sometimes. And he's just not been able to grasp Billy Napier's situation. And quite frankly, Shane, I'm going to say this, I'm going to get off this bandwagon. Very few national guys know what the hell is going on with the Gators, right? Yeah. They just don't know. They're behind the time. They don't get the information. So that's what.
Yeah, and Joseph says, Paul Feinbaum is an example of what's wrong with our country. Negativity sells. He says negativity sells in this country, and Paul is nothing but negative about any and everyone except Nick Saban. And I think that's a fact. I think it's a good point he brought up right there. So
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. He makes a lot of great comments about Kirby. A lot. I've heard him a lot. So I think that's a generalization. And whoever said that is guilty of doing exactly what he's accused of Feinbaum of, which is not opening your eyes. Anyway.
Andy says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mellon Law, Shane Leon is number 4 on the QB depth chart. That's contrary to everything we've heard the last 10 days. I believe he's the 3rd guy listed on the depth chart. Maybe not. Mm-hmm. I firmly believe if something happens to Graham Mertz, they may put 17 in the game, Max Brown, just to see what he can do. But I think they're very, very comfortable putting Leon in there before him. That's what I would do.
He did come out of nowhere. It's a guy with a ton of experience.
Max scares the hell out of me sometimes when he
does. He really?
Back.
Why?
He's erratic, man.
Is he?
He's erratic.
Okay, it's good to know.
But he may be a gamer. You never know.
Yeah.
So let's just hope nothing happens to 15, and we'll be all right. Okay, so we got I got YouTube going. I got Facebook going, buddy. Andrew says on YouTube, y'all never mention Tony when you talk about twitchy Florida wideouts. Yeah, I sometimes forget him for some reason. He's extremely twitchy.
I was a Tony fan now, and a lot of people laughed at me. Even though he has raw talent, couldn't run a route. And people would tell me, oh, he just can't play the other route. I think the guy's a marvelous talent. I thought he was. I'm not sure he got all the best benefits of coaching, but you can't coach that kind of talent sometimes. I thought at times he was absolutely brilliant. Other times he messed the plays up.
All right, let's go back to the depth chart, buddy. What surprised you once again? I know you talked about some of the young receivers, but did anything else stand out to you?
Well, the safeties. You got 2 young safeties back there. When's the last time Florida started a true freshman as a safety? And that's one. But again, I take those with a grain of salt, just like you said, because that doesn't mean anything. It just means how they're going to line up and how they're going to look and they put it out. I think we're going to see some players that we haven't even been mentioned yet. So the depth chart is good. It looks like gives you an idea of what it looks like. And so I'm not. I don't have a lot to say about it. I thought you'd be talking about the release of the uniforms today, Shane, and the schedule. Huh? You're a uniform guy.
I am, and I don't like some. Here's my uniform I like: blue jerseys at home, white pants. On the road, white jerseys, white pants. I cannot stand the orange pants. I cannot stand the orange blue pants. But
it is. I don't see any orange pants on there.
They're not wearing them this year for some reason.
Well, because of you.
No, I wouldn't wear the blue either. I just wear white.
Okay, they got white. 1, 2, 3. Well, I can't tell from this chart. Yeah. So, how are you with the black? You're like me.
I'm not a fan of it, but I understand they're going to do it once and then auction off those jerseys, which I'm all for.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, this is from Tommy in Savannah on the Titan More text line. Hey Shane, Trey Wilson should be faster with only one number on his jersey. Very true. He is. He went from 21 to 3, and he's much faster.
Did you see what Mertz said about Wilson?
Yeah, well, you got to remember, Mertz hasn't played with any really
but
fast
and listen to this quote. I've been in college. This is from Mertz on Wilson. I've been in college for a few years, and I haven't seen somebody that fast and that twitchy. And then Jason Marshall talked about why they think he might be good. And Jason Marshall says, sometimes you just know.
You know, and that's what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You know immediately.
No.
Text on the Titan More text line from Josh in Mississippi says, QB and Buddy, what are each of your score predictions for the game?
You made a good one last night. I kind of liked the one on my
I got Gators. I got Gators winning this game 24-20.
I kind of like that score. Yeah, I do. I'll go 24-21 just to be a little different. Because you've been on a hot streak lately, man. Your boy Victor Hovland. Oh my gosh!
But it's a shame. I was telling JC yesterday. I can't remember Tiger's run, right? I mean, we all know Tiger's,
right.
If not the greatest golfer, him or Jack, whatever. Argue all you want.
Yeah.
But the last 3 weeks of what Victor Hovland has done, it's a shame that the season has ended because you would like to see how he could carry on the next few weeks. I mean, I've never seen a golfer hit shots like this guy.
Pure.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
There have been a few now. Now, Tiger hit some beautiful shots. Jack had his run. There have been other guys who had their runs. Watson. Let's don't forget them. But he has been on it. I think because nobody else is there like Tiger, that Hovland's getting the attention because he is playing at that level. He is playing at a different level than anybody else right now.
His post game, his post what the hell do you call it in golf? Post round press conference was great, buddy. They talked about, he won 18 million that day.
Yeah.
But he had won something like 28 million the last couple of weeks. And
33 million altogether.
He's like, you have to go listen to it. He's like, I don't need money. I don't care about money.
I read it. Just read it this morning. It's fantastic. I love it.
Did you see where he ate after?
Chipotle. He eats every meal. Chipotle.
I love that guy.
He says, I don't need any money. I got plenty, except for I give my kids. I don't think he's got any kids.
No, he's 25. He's not even married.
Well, someday he didn't care. I love that about people. As someone who never had any money and wouldn't know what it was like, but I always said, hey, I love a guy who's willing to live his life without making money his God. Does that sound crazy? I love that about people.
Brent on Facebook Live, brought to you by Melon Law, says, Shane, I believe it all starts up front and our D-line can dominate. I believe our talented linebackers will finally show out. We need to disrupt the QB and stop the run. I believe some 3 and outs can change this team's force. Hey, I'm right there with you. Front seven is a key. Tommy wants to know, Shane, discuss the options for Ventrell Miller after his season-ending injury.
Oh, wasn't that terrible? Oh, man.
Yeah, so he will still get paid, which is a good thing. They could give him a settlement if they wanted to rehab him and release him. I think though that since they drafted him like the 5th round, they'll probably rehab him and see how he comes back next year to try to make the team. But he will be getting paid, so that's a good thing.
Yeah. Sorry, man. That's too bad. What a all
I
heart
was
player he
speaking
was.
of that. Andy says the Steelers gave Duke Dawson a $28,000 settlement and said bye bye. Yeah, that could happen too. I know. Was the final cuts yesterday, or do they have a couple more days? I meant to look and see what Gators, if any, got released.
Well, yeah, there were a couple, I think.
Yeah, so I don't know who all got cut, but
we had a story in Gator, but I'll be honest with you, I didn't really I saw a couple, but we'll get updated on that. Check out Gatorade. We'll find it out for you.
Yeah, yep, for sure. Rizzoga State Farm Office is a team of dedicated insurance professionals ready to help life go right with the right insurance options for you and your family. Visit ogreinsurance.com. Give them a call at 352-240-1779. A few more minutes with Buddy Martin here on the Titan More Hotline. On the Titan More text line, we got a text from Sam. He says, Buddy, have you ever been to Utah's stadium?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I went there and covered a game for the New York Times once. It was a freelance assignment. Very quaint, and I think it's about the same. Someone said to me yesterday, I think it was Brendan, I think they have a new stadium. They don't have a new stadium. It might have been redone. It's a very quaint, it's a very pretty setting. I mean, what is it? 58,000? Not that big.
I saw somebody on Twitter do the rankings of where their stadium would fall if they were in the SEC due to capacity.
In the SEC, probably 10th, 12th, whatever.
It was just above Vanderbilt.
Okay.
So
I think it's better. No, it's better than Vanderbilt.
No. Well, I'm talking about capacity. It's not.
Oh, I thought you meant in terms of how good a stadium it was. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's so that's probably about right.
There's 14 teams in the SEC. Capacity wise, it was 13th.
Okay, that makes sense. I think it's about 58. Somebody help me out. Where's Dan? I saw the number.
Reggie says it's 49,000.
Okay, well, I think we'll have more than that. But we'll see.
Tease Tabor got released by the Colts.
Okay.
JB says, I hope Guaquin and McClellan can play Thursday. We'll see. If Kingsley doesn't go, I think you'll see Jake Slaughter at center.
Oh, Calzone, John Bradley's guy, Jake Slaughter.
Yep. Joseph on Facebook Live says, with all the talent in the secondary, do you think we see a rotation back there too? Yes, for sure.
I'm excited about that. I think that's going to be a whole different look back in the secondary. More integration of the corners and the safeties, and
between Andy and Dan Bond, they give us all the information.
They do.
The final cuts are today at 4 p.m.
Okay.
So guys will get cut, and they'll start adding guys to the practice squad, which I don't even know how many people on the practice squad now. Back when I played, it was like 6 or 7. Now they can have like 20 something. It's nuts. Alan asked, Shane, did you see the comments by Dak about Will Grier release? Yeah. I mean, look, I don't think Trey Lance can play a lick. Cowboys traded for him for whatever reason. I think Will Grier is a much better quarterback.
Well, he sure looked good. I know it was an exhibition game. He did look good, Shane.
Yeah, but I mean, he's a guy. I talked about this yesterday on my show, buddy, and it's fascinating to me that so many general managers and coaches get so enamored with athletic ability at the quarterback position, whether it's right or wrong. But they overlook the guys that actually throw completions. Like Will Grier, for example. He has thrown for a ton of yards everywhere he's been, whether it was in high school, in college at Florida, and at West Virginia. And then in the NFL, every time he's gotten a chance. Now, he hasn't started a whole lot of real games, I don't think, but he's played well enough in preseason games to be a quarterback in the National Football League.
Got to be something there we don't know.
No, it's because Trey Lance was third pick of the draft.
Why he hasn't had.
And so Jerry Jones thinks that he's going to somehow, if Dak Prescott goes down or he leaves, that this guy can't play quarterback, man. I'm telling you.
No.
Can't play quarterback.
Let me tell you a little secret about what I learned once about Jerry Jones from the guy who was with him. During the draft, he told his coach in the war room, reach over and act like you're telling me something, like I'm involved in this pick. That's Jerry Jones. He's all about that. He wants you to think he is involved. smart and makes picks. And I can't stand the guy, to be honest with you. Can't stand him.
Brett on YouTube says they're talking about going back and possibly giving back Reggie Bush's Heisman Trophy and some other stuff too because of the NIL. Why shouldn't?
But wait. Who's talking about it?
I get maybe the Heisman Committee or Trust.
There is talk about it. I don't know anybody's talking about doing it. I'm in favor of it, by the way, but I don't know.
Oh, I think he needs it back.
I do too.
And so he's talking about the 1990 team should be recognized. I agree, but if you're doing the 90 team, you think you need to do the 84 and 85 team.
Yeah, because they were great. I mean, listen, that Great Wall and those running backs, and Kerwin, that was a fantastic year for a team that had been just terrible and didn't win a game in '79.
All right, we got a text here for you on the Titan More text line, buddy. This is from Larry in Miami. Larry says, buddy, did you do any interviews before this season started with Austin Armstrong?
I did not. I haven't done too many interviews up there lately. My guys are on the ground. I've gotten there. People, Fran Spirit did a lot of other guys. I saw the interviews. I didn't ask questions. My initial reaction, the first time, and I make first time impressions, and sometimes they're right, is this is just what Florida needs. Number one, I don't know enough about the game to say his scheme is sound, but I got to think he must be, or Saban when they had him there in Tuscaloosa, coaching linebackers. But I like his energy. I like the way he approaches the game. I like how he challenges the players and how he's not afraid to mix it up. And he's a communicator. He really communicates well. The guy we had back there before, if you read the stories about him, Grantham just was a terrible communicator. And he wouldn't hardly speak to some of the players, Shane. Wouldn't speak to them. How could you coach a team like that? So last year, well, I'll reserve my judgments on that because I'm not a Tony fan. But anyway, I think this guy's just what the doctor ordered, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I've met him a couple of times.
Have you? Well, you tell it. You answer the question because I don't.
Well, he just turned 30 years old, and it's just I just love his demeanor, the way he coaches. Like I said, he's Kirby Smart. That's who he is.
He loves the game.
If he coaches like Kirby Smart, we're in good shape, folks.
Say so.
I like him. Daniel on YouTube says Sean Kelly might be the new voice of the Gators. However, I feel like Mick Hubert will always be the voice of the Gators because I grew up listening to him play by play. Well, that's true.
That's how it is, and everybody, Eli Gold forevermore. He's not going to be on the road games, by the way. Eli Gold.
Yeah,
everybody's got their person like that. I could go back to Otis Boggs, who, by the way, I didn't think was that good, but I really liked him as a person. That's why I first heard Gator football on the radio. We all go back. It's like your first sweetheart, Shane. You never forget them.
Yeah. I mean, the voice of whatever school, it changes at some point. Larry Munson. I don't know. I can't remember the guy that took over for Larry Munson. I love listening to Larry Munson's calls, but I like the new Georgia guy as well. It just depends on what era you grew up in.
And what do you want? You like flair or do you want facts? I think Sean does a really good job of, he's not as ebullient or emotional as obviously his predecessor. And he never will be. The only one Mick. I think he's very sound. And I'll tell you what I like about you all's broadcast. I like to hear down and distance, these guys start talking about remembering when they were sophomores in high school and something, and they go off on a tangent. I like, give me the ball game, give me the down and distance, tell me who's on the field, tell me what it looks like, and you tell me, Shane, what's looking good and what's not looking good, what you're worried about, what you see. That's how I like my football. I don't want to hear all this showbiz crap that they love so much. So anyway, that's just me.
Yeah, we try to paint a picture for the people that ain't watching on TV.
Yeah. Well, I am watching on TV with the sound. There's a secret to it. You can sync it up if you just know how to do it,
Yeah, there is a way. I'm not sure how you do it.
Well, what you do is you record it and you come back and you sync it up, recording up with the radio. You can do it that way.
So you just slow the TV down. You stop the TV for like a play or two, and then
8 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever, and then you sync it up.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Joseph says, this is pretty good here, buddy, and we'll get you out here in just a second. I want to know if y'all agree with Urban's mindset. Treat your superstars like superstars and your crap like crap.
Well, who does that sound like? You wouldn't know. It's before your time. Woody Hayes. That's what they did. You've seen it, Shane. There's nothing new about that. I believe Eric Wilbur said it on Ali's show that he his first association with Urban, first meeting was not good because Urban said if you miss practice, period, you can't be in the champions club. It means you got to eat beans and franks, okay? And Eric had surgery and missed it, and he came back and said, "Oh no, you're over there. You're not over here." And he said he thought that was unfair. In fact, I think he got Ali to bring him a steak from Outback. But that's just the way it is. You know, you live good if you play good and you do the right things. I get it. It's the old Shane. Have you ever run across the name Pavlov's dog in psychology? That's how you train a dog with food and tell them how to do what to do. And these are trained athletes, and he wants them to know: play good, eat good. Yeah, play bad, eat bad. Pretty simple.
Yeah, I guess I don't agree with it, but it worked out for him and his team. I think it divides your team at some point. They get pissed off about it, but it is
How
what
would
it
you?
is.
How would you have liked Junction, Texas, Shane? You would have liked it too damn well, especially when they take
No,
three bus flows out and bring back one. And that's how Barry Bryant started building national championships. It's harsh. It's harsh. Those mat drills I saw in Swamp Kings, I've seen those before, but it just reminded me how hard it is in a program like that when you got a hard ass like Urban. And by the way, Urban has to take some bullets for that too. I mean, they all got to take bullets, and they're all got to be able to sacrifice. If that means sacrificing your health, Urban was willing even to do that. So I don't know. It's just another way of looking at it.
yeah. All right, buddy. You picked the Gators to win 24-21, correct?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. How do you see the Florida State LSU game? We had a text on here for Jimmy wanting to know your thoughts on the
That's
LSU FSU
fascinating,
game.
isn't it? I'm wearing FSU colors today.
What's that all about?
I just took it out of the door and it's clean. I just threw it on. I got a few people that I like who are FSU people, by the way. They're not all bad. A couple of them are really nice, good people. But this is not why I wore the shirt. I think it's a fascinating game because on one hand, I think Florida State is good. Their quarterback, we know about him. We talked about him. Is really, and I hear he's got some new targets thrown. But I just think LSU has got too much talent. I'm not sure if Kelly's playing on with house money because last year I didn't expect him to have that good a year, but he did a great job. I got to give where credit too. Right now, I've had to pick the game. What's the line? I don't know. I think I would take LSU, but I wouldn't be surprised if FSU pulled the upset.
Yeah, we'll see. It should be. Is that game Sunday or Monday night?
Sunday.
Okay, good. All right. Asa asked on here, where are the Gators practicing in Dallas? I don't think they're practicing in Dallas. I could be wrong. The plane ain't leaving till later today, and I think they're practicing here. And then tomorrow they just get up, and tomorrow they may do a walkthrough at the hotel or something, or they may do a walkthrough at the stadium there in Utah. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure they're not practicing there.
Why would they? Get out and walk
there's
around
no
the
reason to practice here, get on the plane, and go.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, that's just more crap we got to deal with. All right. Any other games this weekend?
I haven't looked at the schedule, but I'm really, to be honest with you, I've been preoccupied. But those are the two big ones. Now, there's one Big Ten that night up against Florida. It's Nebraska and somebody. Where's Dan? Help me out here. There's a Big Ten game.
Nebraska with Matt Rule taking over.
Yeah,
it's I think he's a pretty good football coach.
I do too.
I think he's a really good college coach. He's not a good pro coach. We saw that.
I think he's an excellent college coach.
I think he can get Nebraska being competitive again. But you asked me last night, and I'm going to ask you. I guess I can watch this game. I'll be playing golf. But Saturday, TCU and Colorado, noon kickoff.
Okay.
What do you think is going to happen?
All right. I had some inside information this time on my show.
Inside information, buddy.
Yeah, well, this guy has been all over the program. And he's retired now, but he was the premier expert on a talk show about Colorado. He told me, all right, this is the hot take on it, all right. He told me that the guy who does the play-by-play, veteran broadcaster and NFL player, Dave Logan, who's one of his best friends, said what they're worried about is whether or not they can protect Deion's son, the quarterback, and they don't have anybody to block, and it could get ugly. So that's what he said. So, and I asked him last night, Joe, how ugly would it get, And he said, well, he's thinking it could be 30 points, with Colorado. So I want to watch that game because I'm a Deion, I won't say fan. I think he's really good for the game, what he's done to that fan base and how they sold out the spring game. So they got sold out games all season long. And we need that from that part of the country. But it could be real embarrassing. And I said, Joe, what's the future of Deion Sanders? He said, if he does really well, he'll be gone in 2 years. And if he doesn't do well, he'll be gone in 2 years. So, so in other words, it's a trial. And I all I can tell you is what my man told me. It could get really bad. So,
yeah. John asked on Facebook, why are they stopping in Dallas? Because the hotel in Utah doesn't have rooms because we weren't scheduled to get there until Wednesday night. Yeah. And Billy did all the research with the NFL teams, clinical research team at UF, and they says, get there late. Don't get to Utah early. Get there and get out as quickly as you can. So that's one.
Shane, I have the schedule real fast if you want to hear want the other games that matter. Nebraska, Minnesota is opposite of Florida, obviously, and that's one. We've got let's see here, Mississippi. Let's see, Missouri. Missouri's got who? South Dakota. That's all right. Southern Utah, Arizona State, nothing. Miami and
Miami, Ohio.
Miami, yeah. Miami, Central Michigan and Michigan, Louisville, Georgia Tech, and that's about. There is Missouri, Kansas.
Kerwin takes his team, the Catamounts of Western Carolina, to play the Hogs of Arkansas.
Okay.
So watch to see what Kerwin's team can do. I think Billy Gonzalez's kid's going to be his quarterback.
Really? Utah State, Iowa, nothing. Colorado, TCU. You mentioned Arkansas, Oklahoma, Virginia at Tennessee. That's a TV game Saturday. Let's see. What else we got here? Nothing there, nothing there. I'm looking for the Sunday games to make sure I'm right about that. Mercer, Ole Miss.
Yeah, it is. Florida State, Florida 8 is Sunday.
Okay, I thought it was. Yeah.
Yep, for sure. Yeah,
that's the best I got for you, QE. I can't be your wingman.
Yeah, the Monday night game is Clemson and Duke in Atlanta. North says primetime Coach Sanders might lose a leg due to a blood clot. I think he's gotten that taken care of. I thought I read where he was getting his.
Well, let me tell you something about that, Shane. I know a little about that. Okay, when it starts with a one digit, a toe or a finger, it can become an arm or a leg. I've gone through that with somebody, and so it ain't over probably. So that those infections are unbelievably dangerous. Wish him the best.
Yep, and South Carolina and North Carolina do play this weekend.
Okay, I forgot about that one.
Yep, that'll be a good one for sure.
All right, Shane, you're my eye in the sky, buddy. Something happens, call me.
Yep. Who you got? You doing your show tonight or not?
Yeah. Well, I hope if it all goes well, we'll have our usual Tuesday night crew. Coach Thorne Meadows will be back with us. He's on his way out to Utah. We've got David Whitley and our young Kyle Curtis, who's an up and comer, a great young kid. He's a senior, and he's going to be doing it for us. So, and if things go south on us with what we got in terms of electricity, Kyle will be in the Florida Library helping put the Gator magazine out because he'll have power. So there you go. It pays to have good young talent, right?
That's awesome. All right, buddy. Hunker down. We appreciate your time.
All right, man. Thank you, Shane.
That's the great Buddy Martin. Join us on the Titan MR hotline. We're going to take a quick time out, come back, get to some more of these comments and questions. You're watching and listening to PodUp Matthews in the morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios. We'll be right back. We want to take this moment to thank our sponsors who keep the show going and pay the bills. Our premium sponsors are Crime Prevention Security Systems, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Titan MRI, Gainesville's only locally owned and operated MRI facility. Meldon Law, the only official injury and accident law attorneys of the Florida Gators. Peachland Dental, Gator Nation's first choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte. QC Kinetics. Live pain-free with QC Kinetics. Campus USA. Put some star power to work in your financial life with Campus USA Credit Union. Dave & Buster's. Eat, drink, play, watch. Our gridiron sponsors are Auto ER, UF Bookstores, Silverback Concrete, Ruse Ogre State Farm Insurance, Radware, F45, Quality Plumbing. Our touchdown sponsors are Adams Ribs, Gator Dominoes, Celebrate Primary Care, Gator Bait Media, Okido America, Style Cuts, Ironwood Golf Course, Big Mills Cheesesteak, McDonald's of Gainesville, 84 Lumber, Dowling Signs, Baker's Sporting Goods, Silver Q Billiards and Sports Bar, Cornerstone Financial Group. If you're interested in promoting your business on the show, call Freddie at 352-284-3733. If you like what we're doing here, make sure to follow us and support the businesses that support us.
Attention all Gator fans, Meldon Law is giving away a chance to experience the Florida-Georgia game like never before. 2-night stay at the Hilton on the River, dinner at Ruth Chris Steakhouse, 2 premium tickets to the game, and a football signed by Coach Billy Napier, and much more. Go to the Meldon Law Facebook page and look for the VIP experience for 2. Good luck and go Gators!
Welcome back to the Crime Prevention Security System Studios, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Spurs Gridiron Grill and Celebration Point is the flagship restaurant of the Florida Gators, the hottest restaurant in Florida, in the heart of Gator Nation. Spurs Gridiron Grill. Check us out at spurriers.com. I want to thank Buddy Martin for joining us. Thoughts are with everybody in the path of this hurricane. It's a little crazy having to board up stuff and get prepared and then leave town for a while. So we'll see what happens. Let's see, Facebook Live. There was a question here. Oh, Andre says we have a Gator advancing at the U.S. Open. Ben Shelton, how far do you think he'll go? Ben's a really good player, very, very athletic. I do not follow tennis, don't know it well enough to be honestly, but I think he's pretty good, and probably just depends on what his matchup is in his next match. Andy asked, didn't you have a 14-0 season in high school? Was that a fun and gunnish type team of running or a running team? Do you remember any huge stat? We did both. We were at 14 or 15. I can't even remember. Not many games were close. We threw it a bunch. But we had some good running backs too. Just a really good, talented high school football team that everybody grew up together and played where they're supposed to play, not like today's world. That's what's nuts to me. Tighten our text line from Jim. He says, Shane, what are your keys to the Utah game? Great question. The keys to me for the Mighty Gators to win this game, front 7 on defense. Utah likes to pride themselves in being a physical football team. We cannot let them win the line of scrimmage when they have the football, or even when we have the football. So it's key that the front 7 sets the tone early and often, and we go from there. So that would be my key to the game. Let's see, where was this? What is the status? Stephen on YouTube says, what's the status of the center? Heard last night he was hurt. Yeah, Kingsley's been hurt. I don't know if he'll play in this game. Asa on Facebook Live. Do you think Brooks Koepka should be on the Ryder Cup team? Who are your Ryder Cup 6 additional? Oh, I have not thought about that, Asa. Great question. I don't know when Zach Johnson has to choose. Brooks is a competitor, man. He competes. He's a damn good player. I have no problem with him being on the team, but I'll think about my 6 players on the plane ride and let you guys know that. Graham on YouTube says, other than a win, who are you wanting to see the most that will give you confidence in the team going forward? I mean, I just hope everybody plays well. I mean, you know, it's one of those deals where you may not play well in one phase of the game, but you still find a way to win the game. So that's kind of difficult. It's week 1. Oh, today is when they got to announce. Oh, wow. Like I said, Ace, there's so much going on with the hurricane and us travel plans getting changed around and not knowing until the last second. I haven't even thought, but I think Koepka should make it for sure. Had another text on the Titan Mark text line. This is from Jonathan. He says, Shane, do you think Cam Rising plays in this game? I do not. I have no information. I just don't think he plays. He's a good player. I hope he doesn't play. I don't want to hear this nonsense about, we want to beat them at full strength. I don't give a damn if they have half their team sick. I want to find a way to win the game. I don't care who's playing. But he's a really good quarterback. Very, very good quarterback. And he would definitely make a difference. But I don't know how he plays on that ACL. So we'll see. I could be wrong. Norris says he really enjoys Buddy Martin and his son Brendan. Says they are very funny on their show. Good morning to you, Richard. Silverback Concrete is a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists that build commercial structures with unrivaled quality. Silverback Concrete, you stand on it, we stand by it. ANMR text line from Sharon in Mobile, Alabama. She says, Shane, I love your show. I'd like to know who you think is the best quarterback in college football. Ooh. Well, Caleb Williams is pretty good. He's your defending Heisman Trophy winner, but Drake May is outstanding in the North Carolina quarterback. Just a phenomenal athletic guy that can make all the throws, plays at a high level. So those would be my top two right now. I'd have to really do some more thinking on that, but I'd go with Caleb Williams and Drake May, and they're going to go 1 and 2 in the draft next year. So appreciate the text. Appreciate you listening to us there in Mobile, Alabama. We just had Asa says, if you're Cam Rising's parents, you're telling him don't play. He had the biggest price on that knee when they showed it on SportsCenter a couple of days ago. Oh, biggest brace. Yeah, he's not going to play. I just don't know how. I mean, it's not just Cam Rising want to play. It's does the training staff, the doctors, are they willing to put him out there if he's not 100%? Doesn't have to be 100%, but well enough to play football. And just because you can throw in 7-on-7 and in team-related drills and stuff, football games are different. Nora asked, do you believe Lane Kiffin will become the head football coach at Alabama when Nick Saban retires? No, I do not. I do not. Mark on Facebook Live brought to you by Melon. I can already hear the overreaction of Gator Nation when Mertz throws his first interception. Yeah, he's going. I said this yesterday, and I was on a show. I can't remember if I was on a show this was a show in Jacksonville. And I told everybody, look, I'm high on Graham Mertz. I think he's going to be a really good player. I think he's a good player. I don't care what he's did in Wisconsin. My eyes have told me he's very, very skilled. But he's going to throw interceptions. Everybody does. It's just part of it. So Dan says the number 1 and number 2 draft teams just drafted quarterbacks. I guess we have to wait and see. But we have to wait and see who gets 1 and 2 next year and go from there. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get to This Day in Sports, and we'll wrap up this Tuesday edition of PodUp with Matthews in the Morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios. We'll be right back. We want to take this moment to thank our sponsors who keep the show going and pay the bills. Our premium sponsors are Crime Prevention Security Systems, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Titan MRI, Gainesville's only locally owned and operated MRI facility. Meldon Law, the only official injury and accident law attorneys of the Florida Gators. Peachland Dental, Gator Nation's first choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte. QC Kinetics, live pain-free with QC Kinetics. Campus USA, put some star power to work in your financial life with Campus USA Credit Union. Dave & Buster's, eat, drink, play, watch. Our gridiron sponsors are Auto ER, UF Bookstores, Silverback Concrete, Ruse Ogre State Farm Insurance, Radware, F45, Quality Plumbing. Our touchdown sponsors are Adams Ribs, Gator Dominoes, Celebrate Primary Care, Gator Bait Media, Okido America, Style Cuts, Ironwood Golf Course, Big Mills Cheesesteak, McDonald's of Gainesville, 84 Lumber, Dowling Signs, Baker's Sporting Goods, Silver Q Billiards and Sports Bar, Cornerstone Financial Group. If you're interested in promoting your business on the show, call Freddie at 352-284-3733. If you like what we're doing here, make sure to follow us and support the businesses that support us.
Understands your joint pain.
It does not surprise me that there are a ton of people out there that's in pain.
That's why Emmett is such a proponent of QC Kinetics, offering real lasting joint pain relief with non-surgical, all-natural biologic treatments.
Whether it's a joint pain, ankle pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, back pain, hip pain, any kind of pain, the body eventually will break down when it's under that much stress.
That stress can cloud your judgment to the point that you'll just say yes to the scalpel or yes to another prescription of pain pills. But maybe it's time for a second opinion from QC Kinetics.
The reason why I would recommend this is because the natural biologics that QC Kinetics is providing you gives your body a chance to naturally heal itself.
Restorative, regenerative solutions are here. Get lasting relief and live your life.
Call QC Kinetics, 352-400-4550. That's 352-400-4550. QC Kinetics, 352-400-4550.
Welcome back to the Crime Prevention Security System Studios, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Campus USA Credit Union. Put some star power to work in your financial life. Campus USA Credit Union. This day in sports, back in 2018, Aaron Rodgers signs an NFL record contract extension, 4 years, $134 million, with a record $103 million in guarantees, and that's been surpassed dramatically. That's this day in sports, brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union. Smokey Gator, who lives in Fort Myers, says nobody in Fort Myers, where Deion's from, likes him there. Interesting. And he also says Jason Odoms tore his ACL the same time as Cam, and he's back already. He had a black jersey on for a long time, but yeah, I mean, different people heal different ways. So we'll see. I want to say Cam Rising had torn that same knee before. Rick asked, can the Bucs win with Baker Mayfield? We shall see. I don't think the Bucs are going to be very good, period. I think the Saints run away with that division. Gabe asked, Shane, does the airfield different in Utah? I will let you know when we land. My background is where that's a ski slopes of Park City. I'm not in Utah yet. They'll be fine. They'll be fine, though. So we did have a text on the Titan MR text line also from Greg in Fort Myers. He says Kamari Wilson scrubbed all his Gators Instagram. He's very salty he is not starting. He will play, though. Look, not everybody can start, and you can't make everybody happy. I know he's a highly recruited kid. I think he'll play. I think he's a good player, but obviously he didn't perform or do his job well enough, and he's not the starter. Alan says, sorry, I missed it. Probably. Are y'all leaving early due to the storm? Yes, we're leaving today. No, Dr. Pete is retired. Dr. Kevin Farmer is now the team doctor for the Gators. Greg, is the team going to break Urban's record for the time of the plane being on the tarmac? I don't know what that means. I have no idea what that means. So, all right. Well, it's about getting closer and closer to that time. The Gators Thursday night. Yeah, it's hopefully thoughts and prayers go out to everybody. We're supposed to have a show tomorrow. Seth Harp will be on. I don't know if we'll have power or not. If we do, we'll have a show. If we don't, we don't. And hopefully we can entertain some folks if we need to. But everybody hunker down and let's hope for the best with this hurricane coming through. They say it's not going to be great, but we shall see. JB says, Juan's boarding him third on the depth chart. I know he was hurt for a long time. He will play. He will play. They got a couple tight ends they like. They'll rotate him. So he's an athletic guy, but he was hurt for a while. So I don't know if he's back 100% or not. John says, someone needs to tell Kamari this isn't Little League. If you don't put in the work, somebody else will pass you. That is very true. There will be a Thursday show. I will be coming to you live from probably the hotel in Salt Lake City. So anyway, that'll be it for today, folks. Be safe, as I stated, and take care. We'll see you tomorrow.